Hey, welcome to the barn. So we're back at it. Well, I'm back at it, getting ready to spread all this nice sand that we made and lay the paver base out. So the pavers are already done in just about half of the barn. Um, and one thing that I want to do is establish a little bit of pitch because I'm planning to use polymeric sand to bind this together, which won't be very water permeable. And that's intentional because I don't really want runoff, melting snow, stuff like that, especially in the wintertime, getting down into the ground. And if I can help it, a little bit's not going to bother anything. But you know, if I bring a lot of snow in on the Kubota and then it melts and then freezes, you could potentially start heaving things. So I think what I'm going to try to do is eventually lower the threshold into the garage by a little bit. This is actually a 6x6 that sits on the frost wall below. And the thought I'm having is to cut that down so that the pavers can sit into it. And ultimately, depending on where the paver line naturally ends, I might actually kind of rabbit that out so that it acts as both a retention border and a support. But I'm hoping to maybe go about a ½ inch lower overall there, just to give it a little bit of gradual pitch away. This area over here especially, I'm looking to get about a ½ inch of pitch from one side of the walls to the garage door, just so anything that sits here can kind of run back. A lot of this is fairly level, and that's okay, but kind of from where it's established now, moving back, I am going to try to put a little bit of pitch on it. I'm using just a couple of screeding rods here. They're just basically solid galvanized pipe. And I've got a couple different screeding materials, including this rail, which is a little on the long side. But I'm going to either cut it down or I have a smaller one around here that I can use and work this way and then work this way. And then hopefully I can start laying some pavers in here and continue what I've already laid so far. And it should go a lot faster because I don't have to contend with all the rocks now that we've sifted it. So come along for the ride. So to help set my screeding rods at the proper elevation, I created this kind of, I guess it's sort of a legend. I've got a top dimension to the top of the pavers, and that's marked here. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've got a horizontal laser running around this right now, giving me a nice level state. And then I also have the rail dimension. So if I put it on here, I can see that I need to go down about 1 inch, which I expect. So I'm going to grab a shovel and kind of trench that in a little bit. And like I said, I want to put a little bit of pitch on, so I'm actually going to try to be about a ½ inch lower on this end than I am over here. So that right there is right on the money, which is level with here. This side, I'm still a little bit high. Let's try to level this sand out roughly. Don't want it to be too high or else it'll just be a super fight with the screeding rod, with the screed. If I go too low, then I'm going to have to keep going back and adding material as I try to pull the screed back. If anybody out there has a plate compactor that they want to give me, hey, I'll take it. It's on my list of things. If you're like me, you've never met a tool you didn't want to have, and if I needed it once, I figured I'd probably need it again. And so most things I've bought over the years, but plate compactor, it's never been one of those things. I've always borrowed them. And they are not cheap. And I always get weary looking on Facebook Marketplace for a used one because it's like, wow, it's in my price range. Is it absolute junk? And I don't know the answer because I haven't tried yet, but that's always my thought process, at least. But in the absence of a plate compactor, this will do just fine. Just a good old-fashioned 8x8 tamper. What I'm trying to do is not over compact the material, because one of the ways that you get your pavers really smooth is compacting and plate compacting over the pavers before you grout them with polymeric sand or whatever you're using. And so having a little bit of give will just let those pavers kind of find their happy place. As smooth as you can get this, you'll always find one or two pavers that are a little high, a little low, or a little tippy. The plate compactor, protected with some carpeting, does a great trick. That's something I learned from my brother-in-law Joey, who knows everything about pavers, because that's what he does professionally. I'm going to just take a couple more pavers out of the way, because I don't have a whole lot invested in them. They're not vitally positioned or anything like that, and it'll make it a lot easier for me to screed this. So now I can just use a slight angle, not an extreme one. But you never knew how exciting tamping sand could be. I'm surprised there's not more YouTubers out there just doing this, making that money, making it rain that sand. So, obviously I didn't put a lot of stuff in here. I threw a couple back, and it's definitely getting dark and a little bit buggy, so I'm gonna call it the night, tonight, but it's working along. Now, I just want to talk about one thing that is really important to me and people who love pavers, but that is to never ever have four corners. And what that means is you never want a cross in your line. So if this line's coming across, we get a 3T and we got another T here, but then it ends. We don't ever create a situation where you have a full cross. And that is very, very intentional. That is so Joey never ever yells at me. But I will say, he taught me how to do it. I've perfected it. And I promise you, you'll never find a cross. So, anyhow, that is what I'm working on. Well, it's been almost a week since I shot a video down here, and I've been putzing along a couple hours every day after work. So I just get down to the kind of the last bit, and I said, well, I might as well start the camera and give everybody an update. And honestly, you guys didn't want to watch me lay all these stupid pavers. This is just tedious work. But you get to see it, you know, hopefully go together pretty well. I ended up working out the dimensions just about right so that this last block doesn't even need to be cut. And I put a sub-ledger on this 6x6 just to kind of catch the edge and hold everything tight together. I decided to leave the 6x6, one because of the dimension, and two because it's already nice and level and the door closes securely on it and there's no gaps. So I'm going to go with that. And everything at this point is screeded out and leveled. I do have a couple pieces that need to be cut over here, but I'm going to infill this whole corner and basically finish this thing up. So stay along for the ride. All this jumping around is because I'm getting a little bit of a wedge between the wall and the rows. I'm probably going to have to just slightly scribe the plates, the pavers, as I get closer, but it is what it is. Okay, well, it's not completely done. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutting on the edge of each of these just to get them to fit against the wall and against the door stop there. But overall, it's going to work out pretty nicely. You're never going to notice that they're slightly cut. And I would do that right now, except I've pretty much chewed through all of my concrete cutting blades. So I'm going to order one or two on Amazon, and I'll get back to this early next week. And then Joey's going to come out with his plate compactor, and we're going to compact this, which will get it all really nice and smooth. Then I'll poly sand it, and then I can bring all my toys back into the barn. So yeah, that's about it. So I guess in short, we've got a brand new paver floor. It was cheaper than concrete, probably a lot more work for me, but less money. And I think it looks really much nicer. It kind of fits the vibe. I've got a stone graveled back driveway. The barn is unfinished. I don't need any pretty concrete. I just need something solid to work on. So I'm pretty happy with the way this has come out. I still have about 12 rows of pavers out there. I'm going to have to do some math and make sure that that's enough to do the front walkway that I want to do in the fall. If it's not, then I'll look into picking up one more pallet. But it should be pretty close. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time when it's not hopefully 95 degrees and I'm not this sweaty. Thanks again.